Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Cool Chrome Tricks Part 2. In Part 1 we looked at some tricks using the Omnibar to do some common tasks more quickly. In this video I'm going to show you some things that you can do with tabs to help you stay organized. So the tricky thing about tabs is they go all along the top of this part right here, and they don't have any organizational scheme. They just sort of go up there, and they can just get moved around, and you go one direction, you go another direction, and pretty soon before you know it, you just got like 20 of these things, and they're just not in any order. They're just up there. So at that point, it can start to consume a lot of cognitive energy just trying to find things and keep track of where everything is. And that's going to take your focus off of the work that you're trying to accomplish. So here are some tricks to keep your tabs organized so you can stay more focused on your work. So our first cool trick here is going to be the click links to open a new tab. So let's say I have a Google search. Actually, I won't even do that. I'm just going to go down this page here. I'm going to start looking for links. So let's say I have some links I want to open and I want to read, but I want to stay on this page. So you never know. Sometimes when you click on a link, it'll open in a new window, but a lot of times, like in this instance right here, it's opening in the same window. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to instead hold down the Control key, click on that. That's going to open that up in a new tab up here. So this is good because I've got both of them open now, but again, now we're starting to multiply these tabs, and we're going to have to figure out a way to start organizing these things. But use Control click, so it's sort of like it keeps all your reference material open if you're doing research. If you're kind of like looking at a lot of different sites related to one theme here, use that Control click so you can get it all in one thing. And I'm going to show you some ways to start organizing it. So the first thing you can do to organize is to create more than one instance of Chrome. So right now we've got one instance of Chrome running, and we've got all these tabs here. But what I can actually do is I can pull this tab, just holding down I clicked down and I held it down with my thumb, and then I'm just sort of moving my finger a little bit down here. And what you see here is the tab is pulled off, and it's going to create a new instance of the Chrome browser. And I'm going to let go here, and I'll show you what this looks like. So if you look at your keyboard up above the 6 button, there's up above the 6 key, there's a key that has like a rectangle and 2 lines off to the right side there. That's called a window switcher. I'm going to press that right now. And so I can see I've got one instance of Chrome, 2 instances of Chrome. This one's got all my tabs in it. This one has the tab that I just separated from the rest. So I can choose to go back to this one, and I've got all my stuff here, and then I can hit my window switcher and go back over here to the single one. They get switched around. So a quick way to go back and forth is to use the Alt-Tab keyboard shortcut. So if I hold down the Alt key, press the Tab key, let go of both, and it's going to flip me to that other instance of Chrome. And I do the same thing, and it'll just flip me back and forth really quickly. I don't even have to take my hand off the keyboard if I'm typing. So a potential scenario for this would be, let me go ahead and put this back. Let's say I've got my dock here. I'm starting to work on a paper. Maybe I want to pull that off, and then while I'm typing, I can just Alt-Tab, look at my sources, do a little reading, Alt-Tab back, and do some typing, and so on and so forth. And that can make those transitions a lot quicker. But let's put this back for now. There it goes. Okay, so our next cool trick is to grab groups of these tabs. So all of these are sort of my research tabs on my paper, which is about, what's it about? Early Greek pirates. So I'm going to grab this one right here. I'm going to hold down the Control key and click on this one. Now notice what happened to these other tabs. See how they're kind of dimmed out a little bit? What's happening here is these 2 are selected and the rest are not selected. So if I press and hold Control, I can continue to select, and every one I click, it'll be added to the ones that are selected. So I'm going to grab all of these. I'm going to pull them off and then create a new instance of Chrome. So now I can Alt-Tab back and forth here. I've got my paper here. I can Alt-Tab over to my reference material over here. And that's just a quick way. Of course, I can also use the window switcher up above the 6 key. Press that. And if you're more visual or you don't mind using the mouse as much, you can always go back and forth that way. Another thing I could do to free up space is, let's go ahead and I'm going to Alt-Tab over here again, and I'm going to grab all of these and just put them back where I got them from. And there we go. Another thing you can do to free up some space along here is, see, I always have these 4 open because I know at some point during the day I'm going to have to come back to them. If I close these tabs to free up space, I know I have to reopen it later. I don't like repeating work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control click all 4 of these right here, and I'm going to hold 2 fingers together and click on the trackpad. That's going to bring up the contextual menu, and I'm going to choose Pin Tabs, and that's going to shrink them on over here. It's going to be hard to close these tabs on accident because there's no little X available right there. So in order to close one of these, I'd actually have to unpin it first and then hit the X. Control W will be the keyboard shortcut will work even if it's pinned. So if you want to do that more quickly, that's how you would do that. So that way, if I'm working along and I need like say go over to Gmail to check my email or send a quick note, I can do that quickly right here on the same screen. The important thing is when I can't, these are all going to stay together over on the left. If I try to move this over here, it's just going to get pushed off to the right over there. So these are my unpinned tabs. I can move them around amongst themselves, but these right here, they're kind of special. They're going to stay there. And they're going to stay pinned until I unpin them. And the other thing is, if I were to close my Chrome web browser and then reopen it, these won't come back, but these will. These will come back next time I open Chrome after I close it. So that's a cool little trick. The next cool little trick here is Control Tab. Just like with Alt Tab, we can switch back and forth between our apps. Control Tab will cycle through your tabs inside of Chrome. So they just kind of go left to right. Unlike Alt Tab, which switches back and forth towards your between your most active window, this just goes all the way along, and then it just circles back around. If you want to go back the other direction, Control Shift Tab will go in the other direction. So that's a quick way. So if you have 2 tabs that you're, using a lot, you're kind of going back and forth, you can Control Shift Tab here, Control Tab to get back here, Control Shift Tab. Or another easier way would be my next cool trick, would be to use Control and then a number key to go directly to that tab. So let's say, for example, I wanted to go straight to my first tab. Without using my mouse, I can just hold down Control, hit the number 1. It's going to go to my first tab. Control 2 will go to my second. Control 6 will go to my 6th. Control 9 will go to my 9th tab. Now, of course, if I have, this only works up to 9. If I add a new tab, I can't automatically do that. It only goes up to 9. Whoa, where's it going? It only goes up to 9. It'll go to, when I hit 9, it goes to the last one. So it's not bringing up my actual 9th tab here. Okay, so those are my cool tricks for keeping your tabs organized so that you have everything in one place and you don't spend a lot of time looking for stuff and losing focus on the task you're trying to get done. Thanks very much.